Okay, welcome to episode number 3 of my van life adventure overland safari van build. I think in this episode I promised that I was going to be starting my lift because that's what I wanted to be doing, but frankly it was extremely cold and now it is snowing. So I did some other things, worked on the inside of my van, did some insulation, worked on the roof, some side panel. Honestly, nothing that exciting. I really wanted to be working on my lift, but the weather just doesn't allow it. So, well, I wish I could sell it better than that, honestly. But at the end of this episode, I will do a little bit of budget talk about how much money I've spent on like the inside of my van so far. Because next episode, I almost promised, will be about my lift. I might not be starting my lift. I might do a video where I'm just talking about my lift. But next episode will be about my lift. Anyways, check out the episode. Okay, so I am back here in the van with Jackson, obviously. And I'm about to do some ceiling insulation. And I'm going to do some other work in here too. It's honestly so cold outside. Like I have 2 layers of flannel on. And it's like so cold. It's like minus 10? No, it's probably less than that now. It was like minus 15 with the wind. But now it's warmed up a bit. So it's probably like minus 5. And it's not as windy. So anyways, I'm inside today doing some insulation, which I'll show you what I'm about to do here. So I bought this 1/2 inch thick foam board. They're 8 feet long, but I already cut them down to I think this size or maybe a little bit more, but I'm going to stick that in basically this gap here between these 2 roof rails. And I actually bought some, I think it's called like foam board adhesive, and I'm going to stick it to the ceiling with. But I'm only going to do the front 2 panels because these ones in the rear here, at some point I'm going to get a fan. And I'm going to have to cut a big hole in the roof. So I'm not going to bother with those today. I'm going to start with here. And then after I put the foam board in, I'm going to tape Reflectix to this edge here. And then I'll have the foam board with a layer of Reflectix insulation on top. And then eventually, whatever I kind of determine for like a roof material, I'll screw it onto these rails here. But I'll probably use some really thin plywood or maybe some sort of plastic covered in wallpaper, but not really sure. And then after that, plan of attack, I think I'm going to do something over here. I'm going to put some spray foam insulation down this middle, but I'm going to leave out that area just in case I have to get those nuts off or something at some point. Spray foam in there. Spray foam up in that rail, and then I'm going to cover that with insulation, and I might put a sheet up here, but I might leave it exposed just so I can see the metal to screw in it when I get to the point where I am, I don't know what time anymore. Oh, the point where I'm going to put a shelf in there. I might just leave it open so I know where the metal is to screw to it, but anyways. And maybe, if I'm adventurous, I might work some sort of trim up here. And maybe work back there on those, I don't know if you can even see that's dark, but those posts I might cover with some bricks, but I'm not really sure. But I'm going to start with the ceiling, foam board, and go from there. So there is roof panel in the ceiling. It tucks up in this. Hold on a second. It tucks up in this roof like beam. It tucks up there pretty nicely, at least on the one side. And it's like flexible enough that it contours to the curve. So I'm just gonna silicone it, or whatever I call this. Foam board PL Premium Construction Adhesive. I'm going to throw it on there and stick it up. continue. Okay, so there's the two roof panels with foam board on there. I'll skip this panel and this. I guess it's technically two little panels because the fan is gonna go somewhere up here. I'm not really sure, so I'm just gonna wait. But I'm gonna wait for it to the glue to harden. So I got a little heater going. It's not going now, but it will be going. And then I'm gonna go pack it in. I'm gonna let my spray foam dry. And then I can just work in the rest of this insulation. And there's a little triangle there where the door, like the door slide thingy goes. And I just put a layer of insulation on there. Oh, one other thing, this little bracket here used to hold the light. I'm going to unscrew it. And I'm going to take these little Velcro strips off right now, and then that's when I'm gonna call my break and go inside, smoke a joint, etc. Okay, so I finished insulating the ceiling, and I insulated this wall over here. Now I'm officially out of aluminum tape, so I'm pretty much done for now. It's currently snowing outside, so I think I promised that my next episode, this episode, was going to be about my lift. But frankly, it was so cold, like minus 15, and now it's warmed up, and now it's snowing. I don't have a garage, so I was just going to work on it in the driveway. And frankly, that just wasn't happening. So I've did a bunch more work on the inside, and I'll do a little show. I'll show you all what I've done and the plan moving forward. Okay, so I wrapped that whole wall up in foil, finished up the wrapping of this wheel arch or whatever I want to call it. But also, one thing I did do last time when I did the other side with the bricks, I didn't make note of where I could drill into. So this time I took melt and I make an X or whatever, squiggly line, where I couldn't. And then basically I put lines where the structure was that I'm going to drill into. But essentially I'm going to put a 2x4 across that top rail and probably coming down there, along with wood going across the top of that. And I'm going to make this whole side into a shelving unit / countertop. I'm not exactly sure. So one of the things I'm going to do once I go back inside, because I'm done, is going to make sorry, I was just thinking that I should be filming myself while I'm talking. Anyways, okay, sorry about that. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to draw up some rough diagrams of my bed and cabinetry here, so I can sort of get a better rough idea of what I'm going to be doing, because it's an inside day. So yeah, so I'm going to do that. And also I just going to show you the final bit of roof that I finished, and you can see that. So that is my roof. Essentially these big these big panels here have the foam bat, and then I covered them and taped it off to the ribs in the roof. And then between the ribs, I just like half-assed put a piece of Reflectix in there, ×2. And I made a note, that one has a wire in it, so I didn't want to drill into it, so I made a note. But I just kind of half-assed put it up there because I was running out of aluminum tape. But I think this here section is probably going to wind up having the fan, because it's got 16 inches and I think I need a 14-inch fan. So I probably could now do that, but I'm all out of aluminum tape, adhesive, and I'm just not going to do it. Anyways, I'm going to hop out show you the snow and the situation from back there. You can see my mess. I'm going to clean up. But you can see those 2 panels up there. And that whole side is now covered. Here's the snow. Snow on my garbage. Icicles. Okay, now that I'm back, I just wanted to go over a bit of the budget of what I've spent to get here. Obviously, I bought the van and got it here. That doesn't really count for what I'm talking about. Just strictly on the inside of the van, I've currently spent about $350 to get it to where I'm at right now. I bought 5 cans of spray foam, which I've only actually used 4, but they were $9 a piece. Bought 2 boxes of flooring, which were $95 total. I bought my brick panel, $63, which obviously I haven't used all of it yet. The foam panels for insulation, I bought 2 like 2x2 1-inch thick ones, which are $9 a piece. And I bought 2 half-inch thick 2 foot by 8 foot ones that were $10 a piece. For the adhesive to glue on the foam was $6. The sealant that I used to do the roof rack, I paid $9 for. I bought some screws that were about $7, and then I bought Reflectix and tape off Amazon for $165 approximately. I didn't save the receipt for that, and I didn't want to look it up for the purpose of this video. So that was my best estimation, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around $165 shipped to my house. Some money that I saved, I had plywood. I had a full 4x8 sheet of plywood, half-inch thick, that I used on my subfloor, plus another spare piece. So that saved me probably $100, but not everyone's gonna have that. So anyways, saved about $100 there. And then also I didn't include in my budget, but I did buy, essentially for this purpose, was a jigsaw. I bought it on sale. It was $49.99 at Lowe's, plus tax and all that stuff. But I didn't include that in my budget, but that was a necessity for doing what I've done so far. And now I'd like to continue further on in the interior. I'm going to need to buy more tape, like the insulation tape, a foam mattress for the bed, some lumber to build the bed and like the platform. I'm going to have to build some sort of cabinets, which is going to be a cost, and then whatever accessories I want to put. And maybe I need more stuff, like I'll need more screws and maybe more bricks. Anyways, that's all yet to come. But so far I spent $350 on the van. Inside the van. That doesn't account the cost of the van, which was $2,000, plus the taxes and stuff to get it here. So that's another $100 and $200. I don't even know. Anyways, that's the amount of money in the van. That's it for this episode. Episode number 3. It's over. If you're still watching, maybe consider liking and subscribing, or follow me on Instagram at SARGEinc. And yeah, stay tuned for more. Next one, it'll be about lifts for sure.